Well, next, let's queer up South Florida. Our LGBTQ plus South Florida community is full of incredible performance art talent. Tonight, we introduce Miss Bouvee, a New Orleans import. Miss Bouvee is a Detroit-based cabaret artist, a Southern belle who lives and sings and hosts and performs weekly shows in Metro Detroit, New York, and especially here in South Florida. She is starring in a new theater production, Minnie Behind Bars, a murder mystery by Robert Leleux, starring popular South Florida performers Jennifer McClean, Dyer, and Christopher and Stephen Ross-Dybash. The performances are Thursday to Sunday, weekends throughout the month of October at the Foundry and Wilton Theater Factory. Miss Bouvee also brings her talents to stage, bars, and local businesses across South Florida. Miss Bouvee, welcome to Queer News Tonight.
Thank you so much for having me.
I am so excited. I have seen you a number of times. New Orleans is one of my favorite places on the planet.
Me too.
I spent Christmas and New Year's there this year. It's gone through some hard times.
Yes, it has.
But I love it the most because the personality of performers and entertainers from there just have this little kind of sixth sense of humor, and it runs through everything else.
Yeah, it's New Orleans is the most European American city. And so I just think the cultures melt together, the humor, the world sort of global awareness of humor is just innate in the performers there. It's just there.
I've seen your performance. You're interesting to me. I have some experience in drag and drag performance artist, as viewers know. But you're unique in that not only are you in performance art, but you sing, and you sing quite well.
Well, thank you. It cost me a lot of money in college.
Yes.
That voice did.
And tell us about how you evolved into drag performance versus you being you, developing this alter ego. Tell us about that process.
Well, it actually happened just before the world changed in the pandemic. I was writing a one-person show, and the director who was sort of guiding that process said, really, this is a funny story you have, and it's a personal story. It's my true story. And she said, but you could really do it with like a caricature. And so Miss Bouvee was born, and she made her premiere March 6, 2020, 2020, yeah. So
this character development, it's only a year and a half
It's only a year and a half old, and I was supposed to take her to Chicago. Of course, that theater is now closed permanently because of COVID. Didn't make it through, but just the weekend before.
Been here in South Florida?
I came down here Halloween, actually, so I'm almost at my 1-year anniversary, believe it or not.
Wow.
So 1 year here. And I got my first gig at Maddie's, which you've been in before. And he was the first one.
Why did you choose South Florida? And Wilton Manors.
Yeah. Well, the cabaret culture here is so ripe for creative space. I've been here several times. I used to, when I wore pants for a living, I would come down as a dueling piano act. I would come down with my tour partner many years, and you could just see, 8 or 9 shows on the drive on a night. It was so thriving, and it's getting there again. I think we're getting back to that point. So I knew there were going to be places that were opening up and looking for new faces, and I had a few connections, but yeah, it just seemed like.
So you, if I understand this correctly, then you traded in your pants for a dress.
Yes.
Now, some people would have said once upon a time that was going to require some therapy, but
it
seems to have worked out for you.
I beg to differ. Yeah, it pays my mortgage, so that's
excellent.
A good thing.
And so you've moved to this performance event. Now, anytime you hear prison in the LGBTQ community, we just love where that might lead to.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about the show that you've created.
Minnie Behind Bars it's a sketch comedy-based play. It is scripted, but there's several spaces created for improv and certain jokes to happen. We call them Carol Burnett moments. If you watched Carol Burnett from the days of old, and they would crack on, they would crack and break on stage. Those moments have happened already, and there's a lot of inside jokes that we sort of bring out there. But Minnie Behind Bars really just came from, I think, murder mystery has this like freakish cult following that people just love to figure out who done it. They like to come and sort of try and guess and try to catch the clues as you go, and nobody was doing it on the drive.
Now, I love Jennifer McClean. You have these great characters with you in this new performance. I love Jennifer. I haven't seen the performance yet. I can't wait. But I understand Jennifer is your maid.
Yes.
That's like every gay man in South Florida's dream.
Right?
Jennifer McClean is my maid.
As my maid. Her name is Ruby Belcher in the show, and she is this sort of bawdy, sort of cabaret artist who is striving to replace Minnie Bouvee's career in the show, and she does it very creatively, we'll say.
Yeah, and Terry Dyer and,
and
others in the cast.
Yes, yeah, Christopher and Stephen, who are husbands, and also Detroit imports. We kind of all moved here around the same time, and we had done theater together many years, so I knew their sort of range of comedy and acting, and they're just so brilliant together and separate. They're wonderful.
I think it's so interesting about especially the Wilton and Fort Lauderdale LGBTQ culture. In other places, we constantly report at Queer News Tonight, the entertainment scene, the bar scene in our community is under such stress, and we're seeing so many closures. That's not the case here, and it seems to me that one of the major reasons is because of the diversity of entertainment. Your show is an example of what's really happening here in Fort Lauderdale and Wilton Manors of the breadth. You're in a performance venue that is very unique in terms of its intimacy, and I use that as an intended word. It's not small; it's completely designed for a performance.
It is.
Tell us a little bit about this theater.
Yeah, so the Foundry and Island City are attached, and they're two gay-owned and run theaters,
which we love.
Which is very unique to. I mean, I can't think of two theaters that are run like that anywhere else in the nation. And they both produce, different types of works independently. But the Foundry, which is the one where I'm working, Ronnie Larson has, international acclaim for his sense of humor and his wit, and he is producing this show. And he said, Miss Bouvee, I think you got something here. I'm gonna throw some energy behind you, and he actually helped co-produce it. So we're very thankful for somebody like Ronnie.
Now you've got to let me in on a little secret. Do you live? Or are you killed? Or is that too secret to
No, I live. I will say you spend the show trying to figure it out who done it so that I can get out of prison and resume my thriving career. Yes,
exactly.
Yeah.
And speaking of thriving career, outside of this new production, you appear in lots of places. Tell us a little bit. If somebody hasn't seen you before, first off, if I saw you on Wilton Drive, I would have absolutely no idea. I would think, oh, no, I've never met before. And no, many times I've seen you. Tell us about where we can see you. Not as this, but as the complete.
This is sort of the gift of what we do, is that I can go to dinner and not everybody recognizes me right away. It's kind of nice. But so weekly I'm at the pub, which is formerly the Village Pub. That's when I worked with them, and now it's the pub. And I do their show Tunes Tuesday, every single Tuesday, 8 to 11. And then routinely I'm at Maddie's, which is on Friday nights, also 8 to 11.
8 to 11 at Maddie's, and Tuesdays at the pub.
Yeah, also 8 to 11.
And all cabaret, you're singing live?
All live, baby, all live. 3 hours is a long time to sing.
The last time I saw you at Maddie's, Jennifer was there, and as always, she had drank too much. No, I'm only kidding, Jennifer, I'm only kidding. And y'all did a number together. It was just fantastic. And I tipped you, I think, $20.
Well, appreciate that.
Stiffed her completely. And so it was, I'm just kidding, Jennifer. And so Tuesdays and Friday nights. And for the theater performance, tell everybody how they can get tickets.
RonnieLarson.com is the most direct way to get tickets. And I would not wait if I were you, because we've only had 2 performances, and this coming weekend is completely sold out. Monday just sold out before we went on air. I mean, we the tickets are moving. So they just extended us, which is great news.
Oh, excellent.
Into the first
tell
week
us
of
this.
November.
Yeah, so you're going to come you're going to do Halloween weekend?
Yeah, so we're playing Halloween weekend, and then November, it's a weird schedule in November because of the other shows that are in there at the space, but we're doing, I think it's a Monday, November 1st, Thursday, November 4th, and then a Saturday matinee, November 6th.
You must love that.
Yeah, that's a great problem to have,
It's a great problem to have. Well, Miss Bouvee, I'm so glad that you came to Queer News tonight, and we hear about this performance. This is really unique, and one of the things that I would say at Queer News Tonight and Happening Out Television, Hotspots Magazine, we're all in the same group, we propel LGBT entertainment and culture. And the more diversity we have in our community, the better and stronger our community is. And I love the fact that I've learned that this character is only a year and a half old, and you've only been in our community for just a year.
Yeah.
Wow, what a fantastic year to pick to move.
A lot of people
and be
said
in
that.
entertainment.
A lot of people said that.
But we're coming out of pandemic, and I have a feeling that Miss Bouvee is going to be one of the people in South Florida that's really going to lead a roaring entertainment return.
Ooh, I like that.
LGBTQ.
Roaring in the 20s. I like that.
And I hope you survive, and I hope the murder mystery doesn't end up that Miss Bouvee is. We'll see. I can't wait to see.
Yes.
Thank you for being with us tonight.
My absolute pleasure.
LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ plus community.